All right, let's just jump right in. We've all seen The Matrix, right? And the message seems pretty obvious. You gotta escape the system, break free. But what if that's not the point at all? What if we've been looking at it all wrong? Today, we're digging into a really fascinating idea that the ultimate freedom isn't about escaping the Matrix. It's about consciously choosing to live in it. This is the question that changes everything. I mean, really think about it. If the whole point of the war against the machines was to free humanity from this digital prison, why is it still running at the end of the story? Why didn't Neo and the rebels just, pull the plug? The argument is, this wasn't some mistake in the script. It was the entire point. So it turns out the goal was never to tear it all down. The whole plan, the one the Oracle set in motion, was about changing the game entirely. It wasn't about dragging everyone out of the Matrix and forcing them into the real world. It was about giving every single person the power to choose for themselves. So what's the choice? Well, on one side, you've got the real world. It's gritty, it's kind of boring, a physical life with all its aches and pains and limits. But on the other side, you've got the Matrix, this magical programmed world where you can bend the rules of physics. The new deal was that people could actually pick which reality they wanted. And this whole idea of a choice, well, that shines a light on a much, much deeper problem. And this is where it stops being about a sci-fi movie and starts being about, well, us. The idea here is that the real prison isn't some external system. The real danger, the cage that truly traps us, is living an unconscious life, just going through the motions without really knowing why we're doing what we're doing. So what does unconscious living even mean? It's basically being asleep at the wheel of your own life. It's when you're completely oblivious to all the subtle and sometimes not so subtle forces that are pulling your strings. Think about things like societal pressure, advertising, or just what other people expect from you. All these things are constantly shaping your actions and even what you think you want. And that leads to a pretty serious consequence. When you're living unconsciously, you're like a puppet that doesn't even realize it has strings. This lack of awareness, the argument goes, just makes you incredibly easy for other people or institutions or ideologies to control. And you can see the symptoms of this all over the place. It's not just about big, scary forces. It's in the little things. Are you a chronic people pleaser, always looking for someone else's approval? Or, and this is interesting, are you on the total opposite end, fighting so hard against pleasing people that it basically becomes your entire personality? Either way, you're just reacting. You're not consciously acting. So if the problem is being unconscious, the solution has to be consciousness, right? This is really the heart of the whole idea. Real freedom doesn't come from picking the right path, whether that's some spiritual journey, or being a rebel, or just living a conventional life. Real freedom comes from the simple but profound act of consciously choosing your path, whatever that path might be. And let's be really clear here. This isn't about having to become some super spiritual guru or diving deep into what the source calls the woo-woo. You don't have to quit your job and go meditate on a mountain somewhere. The goal is way more basic and way more accessible. It's simply to be aware, to be conscious of the life you're living and the choices you're making moment to moment. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? A gilded cage is still a cage, sure. But if you're totally aware of the bars, if you understand the trade-offs, and you consciously decide, you know what, the comfort and security in here are worth it, haven't you just exercised your freedom? You've made a choice with your eyes wide open. And that really makes you think, doesn't it? If you consciously and willingly accept the terms of your reality, are you still a prisoner? Or have you kind of transcended the whole idea of a prison by making it your choice? The argument here is that the act of choosing completely transforms your situation. So, okay, how does this actually work in real life? If the whole goal is just to make a conscious choice, what does that look like? The main idea is that there's no one-size-fits-all answer. There's no single correct way to do it. It's all about figuring out your own code and living by it, authentically and with total awareness. And look at how different these paths can be. You could consciously choose a deeply spiritual life. Or you could choose a super simple, maybe even boring life if that's what you truly, genuinely want. You could choose to be a rebel and fight the system. Or you could consciously choose to live inside that gilded cage. None of these is better than the other. The only thing that matters is that you're the one choosing. And there's some pretty sharp advice here, especially for anyone who chooses that rebellious path. See, a conscious rebellion isn't just about shouting, "Fight the power." It's about having an actual plan. Just telling people to do something without any strategy, that's just unconscious noise. A conscious rebel acts with purpose. And here is the big, critical warning. The second you try to force your conscious choice onto somebody else, well, you've just become the thing you were trying to escape. You're creating a new system of control. You just have to look at the history of religion to see how even the best intentions can end up building new prisons for other people. So, after all this, the focus zooms all the way in. It moves away from these big ideas about society and the matrix, and it lands right on you. The entire philosophy, everything we've talked about, boils down to one very personal, very critical question. But before we get to that final question, there's one last really empowering thought here. You don't need to go find some guru. You don't need someone to give you a red pill. The ability to choose consciously, to be aware, to live the life you actually want, it's already in you. And that's really what it's all about. That's the question to walk away with. It's not about what's the right life or the wrong life. It's just, is the life you are living right now, today, one that you are actively and consciously choosing? Definitely something to think about.